What is up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us on this Friday. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network, talking about the Eagles draft and what a night it was. What a night it was. They end up at number 9. They moved up one spot to get Jalen Carter, and at number 30, they get Nolan Smith, his college teammate at Georgia. This came down, guys, before the draft began. There was a tampering charge levied against the Arizona Cardinals, and there was a statement released. So just prior to the draft, the Eagles, it actually benefited the Eagles here. They improved their draft stock as a result of the settlement with the Arizona Cardinals, who tampered with defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon prior to the Super Bowl. The Arizona Cardinals, this is an Eagles and Cardinals, released a joint statement saying, quote, "The Arizona Cardinals and Philadelphia Eagles have agreed on a settlement of an issue concerning an instance of impermissible contact by Arizona during its head coaching search this past January. The Cardinals self-reported to the National Football League that general manager Monty Osenfort had a conversation with then Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon in the days following the NFC Championship game, a period during which contact is not permitted under the league's anti-tampering policy. To resolve the matter between the clubs, the Cardinals and the Eagles have agreed to swap third-round picks in the 2023 draft. The Cardinals received the Eagles' fifth-round selection as well in 2024. So, you know, the Eagles get a slight little move up there in the third round. But here's the thing. It may sound like a little minor thing, and you may say to yourself, this stuff goes on all the time, and you're probably not wrong. The one thing it brings into question was Jonathan Gannon as fully engaged in the 2 weeks preparing for the Super Bowl as he might have been otherwise, if he wasn't thinking about a Cardinals interview, talking to Cardinals people, etc. Therein lies the issue, I think, with some Eagles fans.
I think it's a valid question to bring up. But for me, it puts it in the category of questioning that man's character as a coach. And I don't know Jonathan Gannon, but I'm going to say I believe that he was fully focused on his task at hand. When you take into consideration how hard it is just to get to an NFC Championship game, just to get to a Super Bowl, you're focused on doing everything you can possibly for that one moment in time for something you may never get again. You know, and I understand why people bring that up. To a certain degree, but I am not going to tarnish. I mean, let's face it, Jonathan Gannon, it was a love-hate relationship with that dude here. There's no gray area, and you guys know what side I was on.
Yep.
If a lot of players and coaches, there's a gray area. There was no gray area. Either you're in or you're out with that dude. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was focused. What happened in that Super Bowl was he just got outfoxed by a better coaching staff, plain and simple.
I get it, but, you know, it's just something that you don't do. You definitely don't get caught doing it. But I don't understand why we had to give our fifth-round pick for next year.
Yeah, I don't get why shouldn't it just be a swap?
Why
and
don't
the Eagles get the advantage there?
Right, it's supposed to be
Arizona tampered.
Yeah, you know, Arizona's want to tamper. What does that have to do with us? Why are we
because Jonathan reciprocated. See, he could have said, "Hey man,
because he was still a member of the Eagles organization.
I can't talk to you right now," but he engaged. See, so both teams have to be penalized to a certain degree. Now, the Eagles, technically, the Eagles got the better of this penalty when you think about it, flipping that third round.
Yeah.
You look at the multitude of picks they're going to have in 2024. Right now, minimum 12 picks. That fifth-round pick next year is not really going to hurt this team because, like you said off the top of the show, Brooks, they're not going to be. They can't sign all these players next year.
Well, that's why you look at it and you're like, well, how are they picking 62nd in the second round? And then all of a sudden they're 4 picks later at the top of the third. Yeah. Well, that's how, right? So, and look, I'm not naive enough to think that this stuff doesn't go on, you know, behind the scenes.
It does. It does.
But the way the Super Bowl played out, it just doesn't help things. No, you know, they looked unprepared in the second half. GJ said he didn't put us in the best position to succeed. Like those kind of things just add up. And again, it doesn't take much to like get the fire going with Eagles fans on Gannon anyway.
Well, GJ feels vindicated right now.
Right.
See, I told y'all all this stuff was going on.
He's totally doing that. You know,
I should have told y'all from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, that's all, you know, that's he was wrong for that. He was wrong. He wasn't thinking about us. He wasn't. So he's gonna get all that.
No question.
You got caught. I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, man. I was pissed off about Spygate because they did a better job. The Bill did a better job than our Bill. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Bill Cowher got outfoxed by the other Bill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm pissed off because I lost the Super Bowl because of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You look at Arizona's situation as much of a black eye as they've had in recent years with that quarterback contract and things going on. I'll give them credit for one thing. They turned themselves in.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that. I mean, Rob, going back to what you say about conversations, I can't even begin to tell you how many players through the years have told me in games being played in December when they play a certain opponent, as they're walking off the field and engaging the opponent, they're whispering in a coach's ear or another player, "Hey, man, I'm a free agent after this year. Tell your coach." It happens all the time.
Yeah,
99% of the time, nobody's getting caught. But I'm surprised. I would like to know, why did Arizona decide to turn themselves in?
They were probably caught dead red-handed, and the league gave them that option.
Well, all that stuff,
I don't think they did it out of the goodness of their heart, Derek. I think they did it because they were dead to rights.
Maybe.
Well, they were dead to rights, number one. Number two, they were already getting investigated for the stuff that happened with the GM and the burner phones and stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they got caught.
Maybe maybe that's where it came up. Well, I don't know. The new GM, the guy there now is new, Monty Osenfort. Great name, by the way. All right, so this is interesting. So this was Nolan Smith. We'll get to what the Eagles can do tonight in a sec. But Nolan Smith was on the Odyssey podcast called The Crew back in March, and he talked about how kind of motivated he is because a lot of people overlook him, I guess, because of his size. He said, I felt disrespected. Honestly, they forgot about me. They didn't think this edge rusher from Georgia. I wasn't even brought up in any of the mock combines or drafts or any of that. He went on to say, I just felt disrespected. I play with a chip on my shoulder just because I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be somewhere in Savannah, Georgia, latching down boats. I tell my boys, I remind myself of that daily. Any team that pass up on me that I got to sit there and watch, I just make sure I'm writing it down. I'm memorizing it in my head. So when my opportunity gets shown, I'm going to show you that you should have drafted me. All right, good. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, Nolan Smith.
Let's go. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
And let's put it in this proper perspective. What we traditionally knew as size for certain positions doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
Edge rushers are smaller. Linebackers are smaller and faster. So all these prototypical, man, you got to have that 6'5" edge rusher. No, you don't anymore. You got to have that 6'4", 260-pound middle linebacker. No, you don't anymore. The league has shown you over the past couple of years with the likes of a Devin Bush and all these guys, you don't have to be the biggest dude. You just have to be athletic and get from point A to point B as quick as your coordinator needs you to. Michael Parsons ain't the biggest dude on the block, but Michael Parsons is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
See, that, the game has changed so much now, with these offenses getting faster, defenses had to get faster as well. How do you get faster? Not necessarily the biggest dude. I need the best dude at that position. And if he's 6'1" instead of 6'5", that's who I need.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Jim G asked a question. He said, B. Brooks, D-Gun, Rob, what current player is a good comparison to Nolan Smith? You got to look in the same locker room. Hassan Reddick.
Look at the guy who wears number 7 for the Eagles. It's very similar, and I think that Nolan will benefit from the Eagles figuring this out. I know it's a different coordinator, but figuring out how to best utilize Hassan Reddick last year. I think that helps Nolan Smith this year with the Eagles.
I mean, all you guys do is just duplicate the page he had from what Gannon did. Gannon said, you know what? I remember when he first brought him in, and I can remember talking to you guys that you like, oh, that's a great pick, but where are they going to play him? Are they going to line up at linebacker depth and have him rush and blitz from those areas? Like, no, they just need to put him somewhere and let him go. You guys are like, no, he probably wouldn't. No, they got to put him on one side or the other and have him rush. You know what I'm saying? Run, Forrest, run. That's what they needed to do. And as soon as they did that, he started getting sacks. Mm-hmm. There's certain players, it's not putting you can't put a round plug in a square hole. It's just not going to fit. And just, you line up out there on the left side and go find the ball. And that's all you have to do with players like that.
Yeah.
They're small, but they've been small. They've went against, top tier talent in the SEC. They understand how to get low, how to rush passers. Just let them go. Just let them go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so tonight they're picking second and third round is the way it goes tonight, and then everything else is Saturday. So they have 62 and 66, 62 second round, 66 third round. Let's throw some names out there, guys, that are still available. Joey Porter is still out there. I'll just give you a couple corners. Kaylee Ringo is still available.
Georgia.
Cam Smith, who I really like, South Carolina.
Yes, very good.
Is out there. From Barrett School, Julius Brents is K-Stater.
Yep.
There's some safeties too. Brian Branch, Sidney Brown from Illinois, Jordan Battle, also from Bama. All still there, guys.
Antonio Johnson, safety from Texas A&M. He probably right now is probably the second or third best safety in this draft. Of course, you got to go with Alabama. Their safeties are pretty good. But I mean, the two safeties from it seems like both safeties from Alabama, both safeties from Clemson, and then this kid Antonio Johnson from Texas A&M are probably what you call the cream of the crop as far as the safeties still on the board right now.
I'll give you another name to keep an eye on because they do have a need. Osiris Torrance from Florida, their guard. Yep. He's still on the board.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Don't rule him out.
The gun. He was supposed to be projected to be a mid.
Yes, he was.
First rounder. That would be an enormous pick for them to pick him up. But I doubt seriously they do it because he's probably going to go before they get an opportunity.
You're right.
They're going to have to trade up. Really early in the second round to get him. He's talented, bro. He's good.
The way that draft played itself out last night, I don't put anything.
That's right on, Derek.
There were 4 or 5 guys that went in the 20s and 30s that I thought were going up in the middle, like in the high teens, mid to high teens to low 20s. Nolan Smith was not supposed to be on the board at number 30.
Hell no.
Okay.
I wanted them to pick him up at 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to pick him up at 10. But also, when you look at this, it just doesn't pay to eat bananas with the skin still on them and put mayonnaise in your coffee. Yeah. It doesn't pay because this kid is still sitting there.
Yeah, we're going to get
48 hours ago. Yeah, they said he was going
4 to 1.
According to
4 to 1. Yeah,
he was supposed to be the first pick in the draft.
You know what? From a parent's perspective, I feel for that kid, man, because like I said, the league deliberately only invited a handful of players that they knew. The league office felt, we know you're a first-round pick. They all went except him, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact. It was Branch. Branch didn't go either.
Branch, was he invited?
I don't think he was invited.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
They cut away to him 37 times just during the ESPN telecast. 37 times.
Did he have a banana with a peel on it?
No, but and I don't know if these were his sisters or his friends, but he's
gotta hear him.
There's a lot going on there.
What? Oh yeah.
Oh,
we ain't talking about no Zach Wilson stuff, are we?
No.
Okay.
No. And it's probably his sisters and his sister and his mom.
There's a good gene pool there.
Maybe his girlfriend was there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yes. It's the nature of the beast, man. You don't know what you don't know. Will Levis will get an opportunity, and this will be, one of those things where it puts a chip on his shoulder. Now he wants to go out there and kill everybody.
Yeah,
he's gonna make it a point to prove everybody wrong. You need that sometimes. That's why I'm so glad I did not go to New York. I got invited to New York. They said, "Look, man, come on out to New York. Be in a green room. You're projected to go mid to late first. Come on." I'm like, nah. I'm so glad I didn't because I'd have been hot as fish grease sitting in that green room.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting drafted, and I don't get drafted to the second round. It was different back then.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but when I look at Will Levis, what the first thing that comes to mind is Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
I hate to say this.
I have a Wentz feel off of him. He's big. He's not tiny like Baker Mayfield.
I know, but in terms of the way he plays the game and the you-rah-rah and all that stuff, I just got a bad Baker Mayfield vibe about this dude. Yeah. And obviously the league didn't think as high of him as us on the outside looking in did because he would have gone in the first round.
Yeah.
Instead of being still sitting there on the board.
He plays just like Wilson did with the Jets. Wilson played at a high level when he was frenetic, when he was outside the pocket, when he was throw the ball down the field. And he had like 3 6'3", 6'4" receivers with him at BYU.
Yeah.
And the reason why he made so many yards because he was working out of schedule. He wasn't just sitting back in the pocket and pushing the ball down the field. More times than not, they were running waggle protections. That's where, they pull the backside guard. He's almost like he's the blocker in front of him while he runs on the outside, throws the ball down the field. A lot of boot protections. These are protections that you don't have to read the defense to throw. It cuts the field in half, and you could just throw down the field. They moved him around a lot of movement plays, so he didn't sit in the pocket. So he really can't read defenses, or he's just learning to read defenses. And I think Will Levis, if he'd have had his old offensive coordinator in Kentucky last year, they ran more of a pro style offense, but it's his coordinator went to the Rams. Now he's back at with Kentucky.
Yeah,
he'd had a better opportunity.
Cohen, I think.
Cohen. Yeah, yep. He'd had a better opportunity learning how to read, the defense and how the protection can help him and who's the hot and all that stuff. You got to know all that stuff in order to be a good quarterback, a pocket quarterback. And I don't think he's had that coaching just yet.
Yeah, I think, look, it plays out. If he actually has the ability, it plays out one of two ways for him.
Either that's right, Daz. Daz, you're right. Kentucky's O-line was atrocious.
They were, and he lost a lot from his 2 years ago to what he had last year. He was out there a lot shorthanded a lot.
Oh man, they were killing him.
But look, if he ultimately has the talent, this either motivates you to be that much better and not only to prove people wrong, but also, hey, maybe I have some shortcomings I got to figure out, or all the people are proven right. So let's see what you're made of now. Like, go somewhere and kick ass and prove everybody wrong.
Yep.
If you're that good. So a couple other interesting names here. Kid I love Hyatt out of Tennessee is still available if you're looking at receivers.
Receiver, yeah.
His teammate Tillman, who's really good too.
I love that kid Tillman.
Ooh, he's still good.
What I tell you guys about Skoronski also, bro. I knew he would. To me, he was my third best offensive lineman, and it kind of worked out. That's what it was. My Paris Johnson Jr. Mm-hmm. He went the first lineman taken. Then the next was Darnell Wright, the tackle from Tennessee.
Yeah,
he was the second tackle taken, and then it went with Skoronski. Skoronski's good, but he's more suited to be on the inside. He's a great technician, but those two guys that went before him are just superior athletes, man. They move so well in space. They can block out there on an edge. They have a little less problem handling guys with speed on the outside. Skoronski, he'll have some problems out there when he goes against guys like Hassan Reddick and those guys.
He can hit you with a
change direction. Yeah,
he hit you with them little flippers.
I didn't say it this time, Rob. I didn't say it this time, man.
Flippers.
Kelly
really?
Kelly
go flippers? I mean, that is rough, man. Oh my God.
What's her name again, man?
Kelly Clarkson. Yeah. Hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I can't look at her the same way because
never. You'll never be able to look at her the same again. None of us will.
Man,
yeah.
Something wrong with y'all, man.
Oh, yeah, you go flipper and it's us. You go flipper and it's us. I love the way you do that, man.
Hey, wouldn't it Rob said Kelly Clarkson hold a microphone like this?
Let me see if I can. I'm going to mess up my whole setup if I pull my mic off. I'm not doing it. You're going to hear stuff crashing. Oh, God.
Oh,
ever since he said that, I was sitting down in the office, man, and I was in the office, and I looked up, and her show was on, and I couldn't even see past what she was saying or who the guest was or anything. All I saw was those things moving around like this. I'm like, what?
I saw her like on The Voice, whatever. There's a million of those, but like one time she was like clapping for somebody. I'm like, oh,
how's she clapped up?
Like it's just basically like it's just there. Here it is. Like it's just from right here. She doesn't have like, biceps. It's just from the elbow. Oh yeah, that was great. That wasn't pitchy at all.
Hey, y'all going to hell for this. I'm telling you now, you're going to hell for this, both of you.
No, Look, she's got a great voice. The arms don't matter. She's a first rounder no matter what.
It does when you hold a microphone like this.
That doesn't, as long as you can hold it.
Arms don't matter. She can sing. Man.
Yeah, she can sing, man. It
As long
doesn't
as
matter.
look, when you hold a microphone like this, it does.
Yeah, you adapt, you overcome. If you have a great voice, you don't need long arms. Taylor Swift has reach. She's got the reach on her. But Kelly can sing. All right, where were we? There's also some good offensive linemen. I mean, the kid, the Jones out of Ohio State, who's like a mountain. He's still there.
6'8", 380 pounds.
Beast. Bergeron from Syracuse. I did a Syracuse game, and he's definitely somebody I looked at. He's good. 6'5", 325 pounds. He's a tackle too. He's a true tackle also. And the kid Avila from TCU, who's a guard.
Yep.
These guys are all still there.
Yes. So I mean, there's a lot of talent. I just still can't believe all the. I knew the safety was going to go in the second round, but not Branch. I didn't think Branch was going to make it to the second. I didn't either.
I was hoping. Honestly, I thought Nolan Smith would be gone. I was hoping Brian Branch would last. At 30.
Then you got the linebacker from Arkansas still there. What is his name? Drew Sanders. Yeah.
Trenton Simpson is still there from Clemson, who's a good linebacker.
Wow, really good linebacker. Yeah. Trenton Simpson's really good linebacker.
Yeah. There's a lot of talent, man, and that's why I know Seth was kind of like half joking, but I can't wait for the second and third round tonight. Now, especially.
Will you watch?
I'll watch it. Yeah.
You watch the draft? Will you watch the Phillies?
Yes.
Or will you watch NBA?
Yes. Everything. Yeah, okay. I'll watch everything. I will. I mean, the Phillies are in Houston, so they're starting to play better. So yeah, I'm interested in that. And then certainly, we got two really good matchups tonight. The 8:00 game is Sacramento and Golden State. That series is 3-2 Golden State going back to Golden State. Then you have Memphis and LA, 3-2 LA going back to LA. So they're two. It could be elimination games. I'm rooting for the Kings. I want that thing to go 7. I like the deeper series. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Hey, if we could smash that like button, man, I would appreciate it, guys. We would very much appreciate it. We don't got a lot of folks watching, but hit that like button if you could.
So I'm saying it again.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
If the Eagles picked up Drew Sanders, linebacker from out of Arkansas, I'll be done. I'll be done for this whole draft. I wouldn't watch anything else. I tell NBC Sports, look, I'm done, finished for this whole draft. I'm just letting you know that. I'm dropping the mic. I'm getting up from the stage, and I'm saying, look.
I'm out. You're going fishing. I'm going fishing.
Yeah. He had me at hello, if that happens, bro. I'm just letting y'all know. He had me at hello.
All right. We had folks who wanted a food report, Derek, from last night.
No. Let me tell you my type of friends. And these guys are supposed to be my boys. These are my family. You know what I'm saying? If I had my firstborn, I'd probably name twins. I'd name Rob and Derek. That's how close I am to these two. And what do? They record videos and send me lobster, hamburgers. I mean, it was crazy.
Hey, crab cake.
Oh, crab cakes. They just looking down the line.
Caesar salad.
And what did I have?
So we're eating, right? And we're all sort of like lined up. It's Seth, it's Mark Barzetta, it's me, and then it's Derek, right? So you just kind of get our food right before the show. We're about to eat. And I see Derek with his phone. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I gotta send this to Barrett, man. And he's recording what did you have? Lobster and a big Caesar salad. What else? What did you have?
Big lobster, Caesar salad, roasted potatoes, and corn on the cob.
And he gonna say, Barrett, I know I really am ashamed that I'm doing this to you. I'm not really wanting to do this to you, but I gotta send it to you anyways.
Well, see, Rob didn't tell you the whole story. I said, Rob, I'm gonna send Barrett this video. Rob immediately looks up from his dry burger and says, yeah, do it. Like that. So he encouraged me. He didn't tell you the whole story, see.
Okay. And then Barzetta doesn't know any of this. Is like, what are you two doing? Or like, we're sending Barrett a video.
But see, Barrett, here's what got me.
Yeah.
Rob gets a free burger, and I mean it's a thick burger.
Oh, it's good. It was good.
The dude has nothing on it. No cheese, no nothing on it.
No.
You talking about bland? I would never go out to eat publicly with Rob.
No. All I got were fries
was
and a
depressing.
burger and pickles on the side. That's all that's what I had. It was good.
And Chris D was right, because we had the chef on. We had the house chef on the show.
He was
and
great.
he brought up a seafood boil bowl. Barrett,
Chef
it
Darren,
had
yeah.
shrimp. He had shrimp in it. He had mussels in it. He had a big lobster hanging off the side of it like this, right? And then he had another plate with a big burger. The burger was this tall, and it had bacon big as a little league baseball bat on it.
Hey, look at these two. Look how they're doing me.
And so during the show, they made the mistake of putting the plate with the fries in front of me. I'm eating fries on the show while we talking.
Yeah,
I'm having a good old time.
Derek was throwing down. Yeah, he was throwing
I ain't
down.
gonna lie to you. I was having a good old
Wait,
time.
so you got some grub, didn't you, last night? I thought they took care of you guys.
Yeah, he got a hoagie.
They bought me a hoagie. It was a good hoagie though. I had to bring my own chips though. I brought my own chips though.
No chips.
But hey, no chips. But hey, I mean, I appreciate Doug. I appreciate you, bro.
Okay.
You hooked it up. He hooked it up, man. We at least got a.
Did
And
you
hold
get a
on.
beverage? Did you
Let me
get a
tell you,
beverage?
we had 4 hours of coverage, bro. 4 hours.
That's what we had. Yeah, we had 4 hours.
4 to
Bro,
midnight.
I can't talk
8 to
that
midnight,
long,
yeah.
man.
Huh?
I can't talk that long. It's hard
Why
enough
not?
doing 3.
You know what?
Are you
Tell me if
ADD or something?
No, I hate to do. I mean, I'm already doing 3 with you guys every day.
Yes.
So
Then I turned back around and did 4 more hours.
that's what we did. Dude, you're talking about something you played for 12 years and you love to do. You talk football. That's not a job. That's a labor of love. That's
I
not a
love
job.
to eat too.
Well, you
Did I eat
did.
like you ate?
You got a hoagie, didn't you?
Oh, jeez.
He just.
The only,
Oh.
you know what? The only
Oh.
time I even felt a little like was when the Eagles were about the draft was at like 25 or 26. I was kind of like starting to feel it a little bit. That was it.
Yeah, that draft went by fast, dude.
It
Let me tell you
flew.
something. It flew by.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. And then all of a sudden, when the network and Kansas City start stretching it out, when they got to 25, 26, bringing out, I believe they had sponsor commitments to midnight. That's why they stretched it out like that.
100% think that's what
They
happened.
started bringing out families. They had Jason Kelsey's mom out there and some entourage of people with her I had never seen before.
Well, how about that though? Wasn't that a drop mic moment when Mahomes and Kelsey came out together?
Oh man, with the trophy?
That was
Oh,
hard, bro.
man.
I ain't even gonna hate, man. I'm not even gonna hate, man. That was hot.
Yeah.
That was big time, especially them being in Kansas City too, and they wanted to. That was big time, man. I ain't
The
gonna hate
victors
on
go
that.
the spoils, man.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what? Speaking of Kansas City, I wanted to share something with you guys because I just happened. I love looking at the site Front Office Sports on Twitter. They have some great info. You know, we view Kansas City as just this mid-sized town, not like a major city. But Kansas City's a player, man. Look at this. In the last 10 years, Kansas City has won 2 Super Bowls, a World Series, an MLS Cup. They've been awarded the 2026 World Cup games. They have a proposed $2 billion downtown Royals ballpark that could be going up. This year, they hosted the NFL draft, and they've been awarded a National Women's Soccer League franchise as well.
Wow.
Kansas City blowing up, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, you know, big time city.
Yeah, you could do worse for drafts for sure. And we remember what it was like here. It was crazy in Philadelphia for sure when it was here. All right, so we'll come back. We're gonna hit a couple things, guys.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I was burping lobster. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Here we go.
I'm sorry, man.
What is-
I didn't mean to burp on camera.
oh my God.
What is going on, man?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, 2:00. We're going to do biggest surprises. We'll talk about Levis falling. We'll talk about Porter, Mayer, some of the other guys. 2 running backs in the top 12 picks. We'll get into the aggression of the Texans, who had a good draft, who had a bad draft. Outside of the Eagles, obviously, we'll get into that. Cardinals are saying DeAndre Hopkins is staying now. I don't know how they convinced them of that, but we'll dive into all those kind of things. We'll look at how the NFC East did as well. We'll hit all that when we get back. Some Sixers updates and some Phillies as well. So don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Time to talk about Pro Action Restoration. Yes, if you have a home, you have a business, you go through the pain, the inconvenience of water, fire, smoke, mold damage. You know how trying that can be, right? I know I went through it. I didn't know what to do. And I called them on a Saturday. They came over to my parents' house, Pro Action Restoration did. They cleaned up the problem. The crew was professional. The price was right. It was a great experience all around. They are licensed, bonded, and fully insured. Pro Action Restoration has been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. They will work in conjunction with your insurance company as well. So again, water, fire, smoke damage, mold remediation, you name it, they can handle it. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760.